22 scary facts about hantavirus you should know. Most people think dangerous viruses only spread during massive outbreaks or international emergencies. But some deadly infections can begin in quiet places like garages, cabins, storage rooms, or even inside your own home. Hantavirus is one of the most frightening examples because many people don't realize they've been exposed until the symptoms become severe and life-threatening. 1. Hantavirus can spread through the air. Hantavirus does not always require direct contact with rodents to infect someone. Tiny virus particles from rodent urine, droppings, or saliva can become airborne when disturbed while sweeping or cleaning. Once inhaled, the virus can enter the lungs and begin attacking the body, making ordinary activities in contaminated spaces unexpectedly dangerous for unsuspecting people. 2. Early symptoms often feel like the flu. One of the scariest parts of hantavirus is that the early symptoms often resemble common illnesses like the flu. Fever, fatigue, headaches, muscle pain, and chills can appear harmless at first. Because many people dismiss these warning signs, the infection may continue progressing silently until breathing difficulties and severe complications suddenly begin developing. 3. Rodent droppings can remain dangerous for days. Even old or dried rodent droppings can still carry dangerous virus particles capable of infecting humans. Disturbing contaminated dust while cleaning garages, attics, sheds, or abandoned buildings can release microscopic particles into the air. Many infections happen because people unknowingly clean contaminated spaces without masks, ventilation, or proper protective cleaning procedures in place. 4. Hantavirus can cause sudden lung failure. As the infection worsens, fluid can rapidly build up inside the lungs, making breathing extremely difficult. Patients may suddenly feel as if they are drowning or suffocating despite having no previous lung disease. This dangerous condition, known as hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, can become fatal very quickly if emergency medical treatment is not received immediately. 5. Some people never realize they were exposed. Many people infected with hantavirus never actually see the rodents responsible for spreading it. Exposure often happens indirectly through contaminated dust, hidden nests, or poorly ventilated storage areas. Because the virus can remain unnoticed in rural cabins, garages, and old buildings, people may unknowingly place themselves at risk during completely normal daily activities. 6. Deer mice are one of the main carriers. In North America, deer mice are among the most common carriers of hantavirus. These small rodents often appear harmless and are commonly found in forests, cabins, barns, and rural homes. Because they can spread the virus through urine and droppings without appearing sick themselves, they become especially dangerous when living close to human environments unnoticed. 7. Sweeping can actually increase the risk. Dry sweeping or vacuuming rodent droppings can release contaminated particles into the air, significantly increasing the risk of inhaling the virus. Health experts recommend using disinfectants and wet cleaning methods instead. Many people accidentally expose themselves by attempting to quickly clean contaminated areas without realizing they are spreading dangerous particles throughout enclosed indoor spaces. 8. Hantavirus has a high fatality rate. Hantavirus pulmonary syndrome can be extremely deadly once severe symptoms begin developing. In some cases, the fatality rate can reach nearly 40%, making it one of the more dangerous viral respiratory illnesses. Because symptoms can worsen rapidly within hours, early medical attention becomes critically important for improving survival chances after infection has already started progressing. 9. Rural areas often face higher risk. People living in rural environments may face greater exposure because rodents are more likely to enter barns, sheds, cabins, farms, and storage spaces. Outdoor workers, campers, and hikers can also encounter contaminated areas without realizing it. Limited ventilation and long periods of rodent activity inside unused buildings can create especially dangerous conditions for airborne exposure. 10. There is no specific cure for hantavirus. Unlike some viral infections that can be treated with targeted medications, hantavirus currently has no specific cure. Doctors mainly focus on supportive care such as oxygen therapy and intensive monitoring while the body fights the infection. Because treatment options remain limited, prevention and early detection become extremely important for reducing the risk of severe complications developing. 11. Symptoms can suddenly become severe. Some patients may initially experience only mild symptoms before rapidly developing breathing problems, chest tightness, and dangerously low oxygen levels. This sudden deterioration can happen within a very short period of time, leaving little opportunity for delayed treatment. The speed at which hantavirus can escalate is one reason health experts consider it especially frightening and unpredictable. 12. Campers and hikers can be exposed. Outdoor activities can sometimes increase the risk of exposure, especially when people stay in cabins, tents, or shelters contaminated by rodents. Sleeping in enclosed spaces where infected rodents previously nested may expose travelers to airborne virus particles. Because natural environments often attract rodents, people exploring wilderness areas may unknowingly encounter hidden sources of contamination during their trips. 13. Rodents can enter homes through tiny openings. Mice can squeeze through surprisingly small cracks and openings in walls, doors, roofs, and foundations. Once inside homes or storage buildings, they may leave behind contaminated urine and droppings without being noticed immediately. Many homeowners underestimate how easily rodents can invade indoor spaces, creating hidden health risks that continue growing over long periods of unnoticed activity. 14. Cleaning abandoned buildings can be dangerous. Unused buildings, sheds, and storage spaces often provide ideal nesting environments for rodents. When people reopen or clean these spaces after long periods of neglect, disturbed dust can spread contaminated particles into the air. Without proper ventilation and protective equipment, simple cleaning tasks can unexpectedly expose individuals to dangerous viral particles hidden within rodent waste and debris. 15. Hantavirus was first widely recognized in 1993. A deadly outbreak in the southwestern United States during 1993 brought major attention to hantavirus after several healthy young adults suddenly developed severe respiratory failure. Investigators eventually linked the outbreak to infected deer mice living in the region. The event shocked health officials because the virus had remained relatively unknown to the public before the outbreak occurred. 16. Pets can sometimes bring rodents indoors. Cats and dogs occasionally chase or carry rodents near homes, garages, or living spaces, indirectly increasing opportunities for contamination. While pets themselves are not usually responsible for spreading hantavirus directly to humans, rodent activity around homes can still create dangerous exposure risks. This is especially concerning in areas where infected rodent populations are already common and widespread. 17. Poor ventilation makes exposure worse. Closed spaces with poor airflow allow contaminated airborne particles to remain concentrated for longer periods of time. Garages, attics, sheds, and cabins with limited ventilation can therefore become especially hazardous when cleaning rodent-infested areas. Opening windows and allowing fresh air circulation before cleaning is considered an important safety step for reducing the concentration of airborne virus particles. 18. The virus can attack healthy people quickly. Unlike some illnesses that mainly affect older adults or people with weak immune systems, hantavirus can severely affect otherwise healthy individuals. Young adults with no previous health problems have developed life-threatening complications within days of exposure. This unpredictability makes the virus especially alarming because even healthy individuals may face serious medical emergencies after accidental infection occurs. 19. Rodent infestations often go unnoticed at first. Many infestations begin quietly behind walls, inside attics, beneath floors, or within storage areas where people rarely look. By the time droppings or strange smells become noticeable, contamination may already be widespread. Because rodents often remain hidden during daylight hours, people may underestimate how long they have unknowingly been exposed to contaminated environments inside their property. 20. Hantavirus cases are rare but extremely serious. Although hantavirus infections are relatively uncommon compared to illnesses like influenza or COVID-19, the severity of the disease makes every case extremely concerning. The combination of rapid symptom progression, breathing complications, and limited treatment options means even a small number of infections can create serious public health fears in affected communities and healthcare systems alike. 21. Prevention is the best defense. Sealing holes, safely removing rodent nests, storing food properly, and disinfecting contaminated surfaces can greatly reduce the risk of infection. Experts strongly recommend avoiding dry sweeping and using gloves, masks, and disinfectants when handling rodent waste. Because no guaranteed cure exists, proper prevention methods remain one of the most effective ways to stay protected from exposure. 22. Many people learn about it too late. One of the most frightening realities about hantavirus is how little many people know about it before exposure occurs. By the time symptoms become severe enough to seek medical help, the infection may already be causing dangerous lung complications. Greater awareness, safer cleaning habits, and understanding rodent risks can help prevent future infections and potentially save lives. Some of the world's most dangerous threats aren't always visible. Sometimes they're hiding in places people least expect. Make sure you're subscribed before you miss the next one.